December 13th, 2001, the attack on Indian Parliament. It was a usual winter morning in Delhi. December 13th, 2001, Parliament was in session, and the entire political atmosphere was buzzing with debates. The members of Parliament were engaged in heated discussions about the nation's pressing issues. Outside, journalists were covering the latest developments, and security personnel stood at their posts, unaware that a catastrophe was about to unfold. An attack so shocking that it would bring India and Pakistan to the brink of war. Inside the Parliament, as the debates inside the Parliament became intense, the Speaker of the House decided to adjourn the session for 40 minutes to calm the situation. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and opposition leader Sonia Gandhi left for their residences, along with many senior politicians. However, over 200 MPs, including Home Minister L.K. Advani and Sushma Swaraj, remained inside, engaged in discussions. Some were in the canteen, some in the library, while others continued their conversations in the corridors. Little did they know that death was approaching, disguised as a white ambassador car. The suspicious ambassador car, at exactly 11:04 a.m., a white ambassador car with a red beacon light and a Home Ministry sticker sped toward gate number 11 of the Parliament complex. The Parliament had multiple layers of security, and no unauthorized vehicle was allowed entry without clearance. Yet, the car managed to cross several barriers. Security personnel were initially deceived by its VIP appearance, but one person, CRPF Constable Kamlesh Kumari, sensed something unusual. The speed of the vehicle, the nervous movements of the occupants, and their unusual silence raised her suspicion. She immediately alerted the security team. As the car accelerated toward gate number 1, Kamlesh Kumari ran forward, trying to stop it. Her instincts were right. The terrorists opened fire. Realizing that their cover had been blown, the terrorists panicked. Instead of stopping, they crashed the car into the convoy of Vice President Krishnakant, who was just about to leave the premises. Had Krishnakant stepped out a few seconds earlier, he might have been their first victim. The doors of the ambassador car flung open, and 5 heavily armed men jumped out, wielding AK-47s, grenades, and rocket launchers. Before anyone could react, they opened fire. The first victim was Kamlesh Kumari, the brave CRPF constable who had sensed the threat. Bullets tore through her body, but she had already fulfilled her duty. She had alerted the security forces. JP Yadav, another security officer, tried to intervene, but he was gunned down mercilessly. However, before collapsing, he managed to press the emergency alarm, alerting all security personnel inside the Parliament. The terrorists' main objective was to storm the Parliament building, take MPs hostage, and cause mass destruction. To create panic, they fired indiscriminately, sending bullets flying through the air. Inside the Parliament, fear and panic. The sound of gunfire echoed through the corridors. Inside, MPs and officials were caught off guard. Many thought it was firecrackers or another protest outside, until Parliamentary Affairs Minister Pramod Mahajan received a phone call. His face turned pale. Terrorists have entered the Parliament. His voice trembled as he broke the news to everyone inside. Panic erupted. MPs rushed towards exits, but the security team had already locked down all doors and windows to prevent the attackers from entering the main building. Had the terrorists breached the main chamber, the consequences would have been catastrophic. The brave counterattack by security forces outside. The terrorists tried to break through gate number 5, which was used by the Prime Minister, but security forces were prepared. CRPF Constable Santosh Kumar took position and fired precisely, killing 3 terrorists one by one. The 4th terrorist, in a desperate attempt to flee, tried climbing a Doordarshan cable to reach the 1st floor, but before he could succeed, bullets pierced his body and he fell to the ground, dead. The 5th and final terrorist realized there was no way out. He fired wildly, but before he could do more damage, he was gunned down. The entire attack lasted just 45 minutes, but it felt like an eternity for those inside. The aftermath, heroes and sacrifices. When the smoke cleared, 9 brave security personnel and 1 civilian had lost their lives, but their courage had saved India's democracy. The attack was one of the deadliest in Indian history. If the terrorists had managed to enter the parliament building, the casualties would have been much higher. Who was behind the attack? Investigations revealed that the attack was carried out by Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, 2 Pakistan-based terrorist organizations. Their aim was to destabilize India and provoke war. The mastermind behind the attack, Afzal Guru, was arrested along with his accomplices after years of legal battles. He was sentenced to death and hanged in Tihar jail. On February 9, 2013, India on the brink of war, the attack infuriated India. The government demanded that Pakistan take strict action against terrorist groups operating on its soil. Tensions escalated. Both nations deployed troops along the border, bringing them close to an all-out war. The world watched as 2 nuclear-armed nations stood on the edge of conflict, remembering the martyrs. The attack on December 13, 2001 was not just an attack on a building, it was an attack on India's democracy, its sovereignty, and its people. But thanks to the bravery of our security forces, the terrorists failed. Today, we remember the heroes who sacrificed their lives to protect our nation. Their courage, dedication, and ultimate sacrifice ensured that India remained strong, united, and unbreakable. This attack on the Indian parliament was a dark day in our history, but it also showed the bravery and resilience of our security forces. It reminds us of the constant need for vigilance and unity in the fight against terrorism. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful content. Your support helps us bring more well-researched and engaging videos on history, science, and world affairs. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and stay informed. Stay curious.